Okay, guys, let's get started. So, in today's session, we are going to start our practical session. Okay, we will install roles and features, whatever necessary to make a server as a domain controller, then database, and then SCCM primary site server. So, you have a domain server and you have given 3 GB RAM. And how much memory you have given? 60 GB hard disk.
Yes.
Okay. And MECMPS you have, can you click on MECMPS? 4 GB and 2 core processor,
And 120 GB.
120 GB hard disk. Did you free up some space from
Yes,
your
yes.
hard disk? Okay. Now let's power on this machine, domain and MECMPS. Gloria, you share your screen.
Okay.
Siama, you power on both the machines. Okay, how much memory you have given to domain? Click on domain,
Okay. Here is it. Um,
2
for that I
GB
click.
RAM,
Yeah.
50 GB hard disk. Okay. Click on MECMPS, 3 GB. Let's give 4 GB to this machine. Click on settings
Okay.
and go to system. Click on yeah, 4096. Okay, click on processor now. Um, 1 CPU, 2 CPU. Give 3 CPU.
Okay.
3. 3 is okay. Click OK. Okay, so we have given 4 GB memory, RAM, and 3 CPU. Now you need to power on this machine, both of them, one by one. Domain and MECMPS. Lakshmi, what is your status?
Hi, Kashif. Today I will build the
Hmm. Machine in Azure
yeah,
or local?
Azure Kashif.
Have you created Azure account?
Yes. So today I will build the lab.
No, is the account ready? Azure account ready?
So not ready now, Kashif.
Okay, you have to create your Azure free trial account. You have to use a phone number, email address, and credit card
Sure,
to
sure,
create your
Kashif.
free account. So in case if you face any challenge while creating your account, let me know.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, Kashif.
Yes, Gloria, share your screen again. Both the machines are powered on. Now, one by one, show me the machines here. Click on domain and log into that device.
Okay.
Siama, you also need to log into both the devices.
Yes, Kashif.
Log into MECMPS server as well. Okay, so let me take control. Um, Very good, thank you. Now I'm gonna open the notepad and write down the today's topic.
Okay.
This is the old, I think. Let me open a new tab and save this on the desktop. Today is 1st of December here, Gloria.
Yeah, we are staying in November.
Okay, so point number one, configure domain and MECMPS server. So basic configuration is needed basically. So configuration, basic configuration required. What happened? Basic configuration required on domain Okay, so basic configuration required on domain and MECM PS server. So what configuration? The configuration what we have done so far is we have given 2 gigabyte memory to domain and 1 core processor to the domain, as you see here.
Yes.
The two core 2 GB RAM, 1 core processor, and 50 GB hard disk. In MECM, we have given 3 core processor, 4 GB RAM, and 120 GB hard disk. Okay. Now we still need to do some more basic configuration. What basic configuration needed is, you see this machine is very tiny. It's not happening. The full screen is not happening. So we have to install the driver. So let's click on devices, everyone. Gloria and Siama, click on devices and then choose insert guest edition CD disk. Okay. And then click on the devices again and then choose drag and drop bi-directional.
Okay.
Yeah, shared clipboard bi-directional
Okay.
so that you can copy paste files from host machine to guest to host. Drag and drop bi-directional. You will also need to use a shared folder. Click on shared folder,
Okay.
shared folder setting. Click on shared folder setting.
Working. Okay.
Now
On
we have to share one laptop folder into the virtual machine. So let's click on machine folder.
Okay.
And then at the right hand side, you have the plus icon. Click on plus icon. And then click on the drop down in the folder path section
Okay.
and choose other. Choose a document folder to share, for example. Hmm. Click on share, select folder. Select folder below. Down.
This one. Okay.
Hmm. Now choose auto mount and make permanent.
Okay.
Auto mount. Check the box. Auto mount.
Oh, this one, second one. Okay.
Click OK. Now
Bottom
make
there.
permanent. Yeah.
Okay. So I click OK.
Yes. and OK again.
Okay.
So that is we have done for domain machine, right?
Yeah.
Let's install the driver on this domain machine. So go to the folder icon on this domain machine. This PC, double click on this CD drive D, and then you have this, the last fourth one, VBox Windows Edition. Yeah, that is the one. Next, and install this one. This is a driver which will help you to um,
Expand the screen.
span the screen. Plus, you can also do copy paste. You can also share folder between host and guest. Those option is possible after installing this one. Reboot later, not now.
Okay.
Finish. Now you also need to change the name of this computer because the name is pretty weird. So click on local server at the left hand side top. You see the name is win-gru some, it's weird to remember. We cannot remember this name. So we will give a simple name to this device.
Okay.
So the computer name is gonna be domain, right? So let's click on the computer name and type in change and type in domain. Delete that and type domain. Click OK. OK and close.
Okay.
Restart later.
Okay.
So we have changed the name. Now Ethernet connection has two IP address. IP address is what? It's the network connectivity. Um, over the network, the devices can communicate to each other. So every device needs IP address. So this machine has two IP address, IPv4 and IPv6. So we will remove IPv6. It's not needed. Even though if you keep it, that's also okay. Well, let's go ahead and remove IPv6. So click on IPv6 enabled. Right click on this Ethernet properties and uncheck the box which says Internet Protocol version 6 and click OK and close it. Now at the right hand side, you have an option called IE Enhanced Security, which is on. What is the reason? To turn off? We are going to turn it off. So why we will turn it off? Because it is going to block you to go to any website if it is on. So we don't want to keep that on. Let's turn that off. IE Enhanced Security. Siama, you are following along?
Yes, Kashif.
Okay, good. Click OK. Now, there is one more option which is Windows Update, which says install update automatically. Automatically means it is going to install the update from internet. So when it is installing update from internet, you will not have control when it will install the update, when it will restart the machine after the
Okay.
installation of update. So we are going to change that setting from automatic to manual. So right click on start, run and type in CMD and click OK. Now in here we will type in sconfig, S for sugar, config. Hit enter on the keyboard. Okay, you see the point number 5 which says Windows Update setting, which is set to download only. We will change that. So type in 5 and hit enter on the keyboard.
Okay.
Hit
So
enter.
Kashif, what is the meaning of the S?
What is the meaning of?
S. The S on the config for the config.
Oh, server config. S for
Okay,
server.
server. Okay.
Hmm. M for manual.
Okay.
Enter. So it is now changed from download only to manual. Click OK. You see, it is now manual. The point number 5. See,
Mm,
it is manual.
yeah.
So we have changed this setting. Let's close this. Siyama, we are doing everything on the domain server now. We haven't gone to SCCM server yet.
Yes, Kashif. And other thing, Kashif, after IPv6 IP address off, other thing you did like in settings, right?
IPv6, we turned off the IE enhanced security. This one.
Yeah,
Got
off.
it?
Okay.
We turned that off. Oh, now, so I will go ahead and let's restart this machine. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So this is now logged in. Now you have to follow the same step on MECMPS server. So let's
Okay.
go to the MECMPS server now. Hmm. Maximize this. So on MECMPS server, let's click on devices on the top and choose shared folder, shared folder setting, machine folder, and the plus sign. Choose the document folder in the drop down, other document, select folder, and then choose auto mount and make permanent and click OK and OK. Second is you need to click on devices and choose shared clipboard bidirectional. Devices, drag and drop bidirectional. Devices, insert guest edition CD image and go to the folder icon. This PC, double click on CD image, VBox edition. Next, install.
Oof. Oh my gosh.
Hmm?
I did a restart.
No worries.
Sorry, guys.
Hmm. Log
I
into
logged
the
in.
device. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-mm.
You also, yeah, you have to go to server manager. So driver you have already installed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go to local server at the left hand side and change the name to MECMPS. Change MECMPS. MECMPS means Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager primary site. Let's click on OK. OK and close it.
Wait,
Restart
sorry.
later. IPv4 address and IPv6. So let's remove IPv6. Disable IPv6. Right click on Ethernet properties and remove IPv6 and click OK and close it. Now you have IE enhanced security, which is on. Let's turn that off. Then install updates automatically. We have to change that to manual. So right click on start, run and type in sconfig. Point number 5 and hit enter. M and hit enter. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you have to go ahead and restart this machine
Okay.
because you changed the name to MECMPS, but you haven't restarted the machine.
Okay.
Restart. Hmm. Now you have option to maximize the screen. How will you maximize? Simply you have to use this option. And maximize.
Mm.
See, it is
Cool.
now getting bigger.
Yeah.
Plus this one, the domain server. Let me close this and then full screen.
Mm.
So this is also now
Full screen.
full screen. So configuration part is done.
Mm.
Now it is time to install the prerequisite. So there are many prerequisites we have to do. It's not like Intune wherein everything is configured by Microsoft. You have to perform all the tasks and keep the server
Okay.
ready. So point number 2, we have to have a domain controller. Okay. So in order to have a domain controller, we need to install ADDS role on the domain server to make that server as a domain controller. That's an eligibility criteria for a domain to become domain controller. I mean, for any server to become a domain controller. So install active directory, domain services role on domain server to make that server as a domain controller. Um, you guys have worked on Active Directory?
Yes,
Anyone before?
I have.
No, but
Yama, you have not worked on
no,
Active Directory?
no.
Lakshmi, Lakshmi,
Yeah,
you
Kashif.
there? Have you worked on Active Directory before? Can't hear you. Lakshmi, Lakshmi, you there?
Yeah, Kashif.
Have you worked on Active Directory before?
No, 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 Kashif.
Is it like you are a fresher?
Yes,
Huh?
Kashif.
Okay. Siyama, you have worked on which technology so far?
Application, Android, UX design, everything.
Okay. So I will have to give you some background information for domain controller and IP address and MAC address, guys, because even if I don't give it to you, you guys will not able to understand. Gloria, you have IT knowledge already, right? The basic ones.
Yes, I do.
What was your profile, Gloria?
Yeah, I was a system administrator, a junior systems admin. So I have some experience in Active Directory, VirtualBox, and
Oh,
Linux, sensors,
okay.
Solaris, and just basic stuff. I do have experience. Yeah.
Okay. I am sharing my screen with you guys. Let me know when you see my screen.
Yeah.
You guys can see the screen? Okay.
Yes.
Now, our architecture is going to be, we have two servers. One is domain server and the second one is MECM PS server. So this is going to be our domain controller. And this is going to be our primary site server. Okay,
Okay.
primary site server. So domain controller is a different server. Primary site server is a different server. Now, both of them have different functionalities. First of all, you have to understand the IPv6 and IPv4. Now, before we do that, because we have installed virtual machines, right? So first of all, you understand what we have done. We installed Oracle VirtualBox on our laptops. Okay, Siama did it and Gloria also did it. We installed Oracle VirtualBox, this Oracle VirtualBox. And on Oracle VirtualBox, we made two servers, domain server and MECM PS server. Okay, these are two new servers and they are virtual machines. Okay, so on the domain, on this laptop, right? For example, this is the laptop, right? This is the laptop. On this laptop, we have created two virtual machines. Okay, domain and MECMPS. Now we have given one CPU to this machine, 2 GB RAM or 3 GB RAM, and 50 GB hard disk. 50 GB storage. Hard disk is what? Storage, right? Hard disk. Now for this machine, we have given three CPU, central processing unit. Okay. 4 GB RAM and 120 GB storage hard disk. Why we have given more processor? Because this machine will have many prerequisite, many applications. It has to perform a lot of tasks. So that's the reason we have given little more capacity to this device so that it will speed up the process. So it has 3 CPU and 4 GB RAM. Okay, in production, SCCM server we generally give like 16 core processor, 16 CPU, right? In for production. Then we give 128 GB RAM. Okay, and hard disk 2 TB or 3 TB hard disk. Okay, so we have this option. Right now we have two machine, domain and MECMPS. Now for these machines, they have to talk to each other. So we have to create a network. They need to communicate to each other. Domain and MECM PS. Okay,
Okay.
so we have to connect them to a to the same network. So how they can connect to each other? Through IP address. So this will have IP address and this will also have IP address. Different IP address. IP address is like mobile number. How can you connect to me, or how can I connect to you? I can call your number, dial your number, and then I will be able to speak to you. So similarly, so this device will have IP address something like, for example, just an example. So let's say 192.168.0.100, for example. IP address of this machine is this, and IP address of MECM PS is going to be 192.168.0.101. So this machine is 100 and this machine is 101. New machine, when I create, for example, a new machine I create and assign it to the same network, it will have 192.168.0.102, right? Similarly, new machine will have 103, right? 192 and 160. Then it will have 104. So it will be in a range. So 100, then 101, 102, 103, 104. So that the machine can communicate to each other. Both can talk to each other. Okay. IP address is like a mobile number.
Okay.
Now we have, excuse me guys. Now we have MAC address. Okay, MAC address. What is MAC address? For each machine you will have MAC address. Okay, MAC. One more thing. How will you check the IP address of any computer? You can simply open command prompt. Suppose if you would like to see the IP address of this machine, you type in ipconfig and hit enter. That's going to show you the IP address, so IPv4 address 192.168.56.1, and I have got IPv6 address as well. You see IPv6, and this is the IPv6. So computer can communicate to each other either IPv4 or IPv6. Okay,
Okay.
you see IPv4 address, IPv6 address. So I got two network connectivity, two network adapter. So there are two network cables connected to my device. That's the reason I got two. If you have two SIM card on your mobile, like if you have Android device, Redmi or something, you have two SIM card. You get two different mobile number. The same concept here. IP, right?
Yes. IP6, IPv6.
IPv4 and IPv6 both are different. You see, this is different from this IPv6. Similarly, this IPv4 is different from this. So my computer has two network cables connected. That's the reason I'm getting two different IP address. It's similar to two SIM card in a mobile. Now we have MAC address. What is MAC address? MAC address is the like a serial number of the device. IP address can be changed. It can change. Suppose I connect to a different network, I may get something else. For example, 192.168.0. Let's say .1.200. So just an example, guys. Okay, so IP address will keep on changing, okay, of the device, but we have MAC address. For each machine you have MAC address. MAC address is like the physical address of the device. Okay, physical address. So like your phone number can change, but your address remains same, right?
Yes.
Okay, so MAC address is like your physical address. That will never change. That will remain as it is. So how will you check the MAC address of the device? You can type in get MAC without any space. You see, I have MAC address for each network. Um, I have two network, right? So MAC address this one and this one, and this is media disconnected. So this will remain as it is. It will never change. It will remain as it is. Okay. So that is MAC address. Then we have DNS. These are some basic information I am giving it to you guys, especially Syama and Lakshmi. Um, now, what is a DNS? DNS is domain name system. DNS is nothing but a database which will help you to convert your request from IP to name to IP. For example, if I come here and type in google.com. So I typed in google.com and it is giving me a page. From where this page is coming? From Google server. So in the backend, my request is going to DNS server, which is resolving my request. This www.google.com, it is being resolved by the DNS that whenever I'm typing google.com, so the DNS is receiving my request and it is connecting me to the Google server. So in the backend, you have, if you ping google.com, so in the backend, basically the DNS is connecting me to this IP address. Just like you save my mobile number, for example, you save my mobile number in your phone as Kashif. When you dial Kashif, what happens? Actually, the number is dialing in the backend. It's not Kashif is getting dialed from your device. It's the number which is getting dialed. Similarly, when I type in Google, basically it's this number which is getting called out, this server address. So if you type in the IP address of this machine, it's going to take you to same Google page. Okay, and that is, you see, I typed in IP address and hit enter on my keyboard. It is taking me to Google. So either you dial the phone number or the name, ultimately the call will, you are basically dialing the number from phone. Similarly, when you type in the name or the IP address, it's the DNS in the backend which is getting the request and converting the name into IP and IP into name. So what happens? For example, my laptop is this one, and this is your Google server, which is located in New York, for example. This is Google server. Okay. Now I type in here, I open browser and type in here in the browser www.google.com. What happens? My request, whenever I type in any website address or whenever I ping any device, everything is gonna go to my DNS server. DNS, it's gonna think, okay, google.com. Do we have the information of google.com? If yes, then it is gonna point it to that particular Google server. If DNS does not have the information, then it is gonna, for example, I'll show you. If I type in, some weird character and .com, you see nothing comes up. Why? Because DNS does not have this information. So DNS contains the data of all the websites all over the globe. Okay, and it will point out to the specific um, IP address. You see, this information is not part of any DNS server. That's the reason I did not get anything. So, DNS is basically checking the entry in the list and pointing to the specific server. And from that server, what is happening? We are getting the page here on my Google Chrome browser. You understood the DNS, guys? Everyone?
Yes, Kashif.
Now, right now
Yes.
we have all the devices are connecting to the external DNS, my domain and MECMPS. Both of them are connecting to the external DNS. There are two types of DNS, external and internal. This is external DNS. So whenever I am going to any website, okay, from this device or from this device, or when I ping any machine, you know, what will happen? My request is going to the external DNS. We have to change that setting. We don't want external DNS. External DNS will remain as it is. We have to create one internal DNS as well. Okay, so we will install one internal DNS on the domain server. So that is going to be an internal DNS. So that all the devices, let's say I have 500 or 5,000 devices, all where I mean from any computer, if I go to any website or I ping any machine, what will happen? All my requests is going to come to this DNS, this internal DNS. Okay. So all the request is going to come to this internal DNS, and internal DNS will see, for example, your internal websites are there. Okay, so the internal DNS will redirect you to the internal websites. But if the website is external, like google.com, so internal DNS will not have the information about google.com. So then what will happen? The internal DNS will point, let's say you type in google.com here on this machine. Your request goes to internal DNS. Internal DNS will say, oh, I don't have this information. Let's go out to the external DNS and check there. So it is going to go out to the external DNS, and then from external DNS, it is going to point you to the Google server. For example, this is Google server. So the page can be loaded up here on this machine. Is that clear?
Yes, Kashif.
So we need this one, internal DNS. External DNS is already there, Google's DNS. There are many DNS, external DNS available, but we need an internal DNS so that internal things can be, the internal servers, internal machines, and internal websites. Those will be redirected automatically internally itself. The machines will not have to go outside to the external DNS to find out the internal thing. If the site is not available internally, then it is going to go outside and check the external DNS. Okay, all clear?
Yes, Kashif.
Then we have DHCP. What is DHCP? DHCP is to provide IP address to the devices automatically. So you have, let's say, right now we have two machines, right? But you may have thousands and thousands of machines. You cannot give IP manually to each machine. So DHCP, the moment you turn on the machine on the network, let's say this is the network, all the machines are connected to the same network. So DHCP is going to provide IP. For example, the first machine is going to get IP 192.168.1.1. Second machine is going to get 192.168.1.2. Third machine is going to get 192.168.1.3. Then it is 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8. And who is providing this? The DHCP is providing the IP address automatically to the devices. Got it?
Okay, Kashif.
Now we will see domain controller. Why do we need a domain controller? We are going to install domain controller. So currently we have two servers. MECM, PS, and domain. These are blank servers. We haven't installed anything on these server. We just renamed the server. We have configured the RAM and processor. That's it. We have not done any installation of any prerequisite and all. So domain is going to be our domain controller. So we will install on this machine, we will install domain controller. Plus we will add DNS role as well. So it will be acting as an internal DNS. I showed you the DNS functionality already. Now, what is the functionality of domain controller?
For verification.
For verification, yes. For example, let's assume this is um, king. Okay, this is a king. Of his king will have his dominion. Okay, so this is his dominion. So dominion means what? His area, his um, location where he is ruling. He will not be ruling to other location. He will be ruling on his dominion, right? So king is ruling. So king will have his people, right? You know, he will have many people. So all will be part of that. All will be part of that dominion, right? Then he will have some military equipments, like let's say a tank and horses and all. So all will be part of that particular dominion, right? Clear? So
Yes.
you can name it. The king will have a dominion name. For example, uh, the name of that dominion will be anything. Okay, let's say location. Okay, so Raj. Okay, Raj. Um, Raj rule, something like that. You know, you are basically we are giving just a name. Okay, so Raj is ruling to his dominion. So in digital world, what we have to do, we need to create a domain. Okay, so domain will be like, let's say yahoo.com, google.com, okay, um, forex.com. There are many domains which you can think of. For example, the domain name is abc.com. That is the domain name. Either you continue with the uh, any domain of your choice, or you can purchase a new domain from GoDaddy, a public domain. Okay. Now abc.com is a domain. All your devices will be part of that domain. Okay. Let's say you have thousands and thousands of devices. For example, you have 10,000 devices in Mumbai, 10,000 devices in London. So all devices will be joined to this domain. Okay. Similarly, you will have users. Your users will be part of, let's say you have 10,000 users. Okay. Your users will be part of this domain abc.com. Okay. So when we install domain controller, what happens? We get one component called Active Directory. That is what? That's a database which contains user information, computer information. So whenever user is logging into any device, Suppose user is logging into this device, either from Mumbai or London or Chennai or from where, from anywhere. So if user is trying to log in, right, to any device, what happens? The request goes to the Active Directory on the domain controller to verify the user authentication, whether user is typing the username and password correctly or not. In case if the user is typing the username and password correctly, then he will be able to log in. If not, then he will be denied. He will not be able to log into the device. Okay, so that is the functionality of Active Directory. Active Directory will be allowing or denying the authentication. If the user is not typing the username and password correctly, then it will not authenticate the user. It will block the user to log in. Similarly, not only on the login, suppose user is trying to access some folder. Let's say this is the folder path, shared folder or something. Okay, any folder path, and that this needs authentication, right? So the request will go to the moment he tries to access this, he will get a pop-up to enter the username and password. The request will go to Active Directory to find out whether the username and password is correctly entered or not. If it is correctly entered and if user has permission, user will be able to access, otherwise block. Similarly, on the domain, we have to create, there is one component called group policy. Group policy will help to deploy the policies to the devices. Similarly, if King wants to, for example, King would like to apply policy, let's say new policy, that everybody should pay taxes or something. So King will apply the policy, everybody will have to listen to the policy, right? And pay the taxes to the king, right?
Okay.
Similarly, we can create policy, group policy, and apply to the devices. Let's say the policy is that Google Chrome should be the default browser for all the machines. Okay, or user should have a specific wallpaper or a specific screensaver. Okay, so these kind of policies you can create. User should not have a restart button. For example, I have restart button here. When I click on this, suppose we can create a policy to remove these buttons. So all those things we can do it from group policy. So we can apply the policy from here and it will be applied on multiple machines at the same time. You don't have to manually go and apply the policy one by one to the devices. Clear?
Clear.
So this is needed. This domain controller is required as a prerequisite. So we are going to install domain controller, and domain will be um, utilized for authentication, for policy deployment, right? User will be able to log into the machine. MECM PS, the primary side, the one which we are going to install, that needs a domain controller. We have to have a domain controller. So let's go ahead and install the prerequisite. So before you install domain controller, okay, before you make this machine as a domain controller, you need to install ADDS role. That role is required as a prerequisite, and then you can make this server as a domain controller. So Gloria, you share your screen again.
Okay. Oh, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Sorry.
You need to share your screen.
Okay. Is it up now?
Yes.
Can you? Okay. Cool.
So on the domain server, let's go to the domain server, everyone, and click on add roles and features. Next. Next. Now choose the second option which says Active Directory Domain Services. Add feature. Next, install.
Do I close?
Yes, click on close. Now, similarly, we have to install some roles and features on MECM PS server. Give me control, please. So ADDS role was needed on domain to make that server as a domain controller. Similarly, install below roles and features on MECM PS server to make that server as primary site server. One primary site server can handle how many devices, guys?
1000.
1007.
1000.
1,75,000.
Right.
1075. Yeah.
175,000 devices. Very good. Good answer, Lakshmi. So in order to install primary site server, we have to install some roles and features. What all roles and features are needed? That is web server IIS. Then we have to install .NET 3.5. Okay. You can put yourself on mute. Okay. Then we have to install .NET 4.7 features. Okay. Then we have to install bits, background intelligent transfer services. Then remote differential compression. Then we have to install WSUS tools. Then Windows authentication. ASP.NET 3.5. Then IIS 6 WMI compatibility. then IIS management scripts and tools. These are the list of roles and features required for a primary site server. We need to install primary site server on MECMPS server. So on MECMPS server, we need to install all these roles and features. Okay, so let's go to the MECMPS server. So this is MECMPS server. On this machine, add roles and features. We need to click on next, next. You see the name of this machine is MECMPS. IP address is 10.0.215 and this is the operating system. Next, we need to install web server IIS. This is to create websites, internal websites like management point website, distribution point websites, the add feature. Okay, so we have created, we have chosen web server IIS. Next, now we need to choose the platform. These are some platforms, the framework wherein some applications can run. So for SCCM to function properly, we need these frameworks. So we need to click, check the box .NET 3.5 and expand the .NET 3.5 feature and choose HTTP activation add feature. Non-HTTP activation. Okay, these things we have to choose. Plus, when you expand .NET 4.7 and expand WCF services, you need to choose this HTTP activation add feature. MSMQ add feature. Named pipe activation and TCP activation. These are the list given by Microsoft that you must install these roles. Okay. If you would like to know what is all these roles, the feature of these roles, at the right hand side, you can read about it. Now, background intelligent transfer services we need. So I'm going to check that box and add feature. Okay, so everything inside .NET 3.5 feature, everything inside .NET 4.5, 4.7 feature, and background intelligent transfer services. Now, when you scroll down, you have remote differential compression. You see remote differential compression. Okay, this is to check um, files on two different locations over the network, whether the files are copied properly or not. Okay, remote differential compression. And then below that you have remote server administration tools. There is an arrow. I need to expand that one. And then I need to expand role administration tools. And you will see the role called Windows Server Update Services Tools, WSUS tools. Okay, we need that one. Then we'll go next. And then next. And here we have security. Inside security, we need to choose Windows authentication. Okay, Windows authentication. Then just below that, you have application development. We need to expand that one and then choose ASP.NET 3.5. Okay, the boxes which are checked, we don't have to touch them. Okay, so ASP.NET 3.5. Scroll down. Down at the bottom, you have IIS 6 management compatibility. So let me expand that one. And we need to choose IIS 6 WMI compatibility. And the below one, IIS management scripts and tools. Okay, this one and this one. Next. And then install. So we have installed all the roles and features, whatever we have typed in here. All clear?
Yes.
Hmm. Gloria, do you have any domain? Have you purchased any domain before?
No.
Would you like to purchase? It's gonna cost you less than $5.
Okay. No worries.
Hmm?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. So let's go to GoDaddy page on Google Chrome. Hmm. GoDaddy.com. Hmm. Okay. I think your name will be available if somebody has not already chosen that, because your name is very unique.
Hmm.
GloriaCooley.com. Can you try?
Where should I put that on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you would like to choose anything else, you can do that
Right, that.
without any space. .com. Search. Hmm. Taking very long time.
Yep. I don't
Let me see at my end. GloriaCooley.com. 99 rupees for me. Available. Let's search again. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, you are typing? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, type in.
Oh, you typing? Oh, sorry.
No
Go.
worries. Yeah, type in, yeah.
Okay.
0.1 cent. Okay.
Mm.
Is it okay to take this one, or you have a different
No, don't
domain
worry.
in your mind? Okay, so let's click on make it yours.
What about the
No
you pay
thanks.
$43?
No, choose no thanks.
Okay.
Click on continue. Let's see. Sometimes it gives you some other information, and when you okay, choose no protection needed. Scroll down.
Okay.
No domain protection. Continue to cart. Huh? Why $43? 1 year? No, we are not gonna spend this one. Um, full domain protection recommended. Uh-huh. Okay. GloriaCooley.com. So It's already taken. You see,
Okay.
Coolie, Coolie.com. Coolie.co is available. Is only available for auction. Okay. For example, but why it is saying $11? I don't know. Okay, let's try this. Let's see. Coolie.com. Mm-hmm. Let me delete. Delete. Gloria Coolie.online is
Mm.
0.99. Gloriac.live.
Mm.
Well, let's take this one online one. Let's see. Gloria Coolie.online. How much we have to pay? Very good. Less than $1. But it will add taxes, okay?
Okay.
Let's see. Nothing is added, right? Only two items selected, it says. Online. All domain name website builder. Okay, website builder is free of cost. So 0.99 cent. And let's see how much taxes it's gonna add. Continue with Gmail. Okay, can I use this?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so you have option to make payment.
Okay.
So you have either using PayPal. There's only PayPal option. Okay,
Okay.
depends on you. Okay,
I have a PayPal account.
you have. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
do.
you can stop sharing if you want. Yeah, stop sharing.
I think it should be already saved. Let me just see how it works. I'm just going to ask for my
So
number.
yeah, I have stopped sharing actually.
Okay.
So no, so you can continue with that one. Make payment and then come back. Share your screen again. It's not mandatory to take a domain, guys, but it gives you industry kind of experience. Plus, when we do Intune Gloria later,
Yeah. Yeah.
then at that time we will use this domain, okay,
Okay.
to synchronize all your on-premises users to Cloud Azure Active Directory domain.
Okay. So I think I'm done.
Okay, you can share your screen again.
Yeah.
How much did it cost you?
$1 and some cents.
Okay, that's okay. That is for you for 1 year.
Yeah. Uh, do you see it? Okay.
Okay, so continue. Click on
Okay.
okay. Um, Publish. You can publish this website as well.
Okay.
Later you can modify if you would like to modify.
Mhm.
Okay. Gloria dot Gloria Cooley dot online. That's your domain name, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You see, I made you public now.
A view. Yeah.
Okay, click on continue.
Continue again.
Continue, yeah. So yeah. So at the left hand side, you have domain. Click on domain.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the domain name and that belongs to you. Nobody else will have permission. So you are a queen now. Gloria Kuli.online. This is your dominion. So copy this. Gloria Kuli.online.
Okay.
Copy. Now go to domain server. We will make a domain. So at the right hand side, you have exclamation mark. Click on the exclamation mark.
On here.
Stop. Yes. Promote this server to a domain controller. And choose add a new forest. The
The
last
second
one.
one.
Yeah,
Okay,
third
the
one.
last one. Yeah.
And paste it here. Gloria Kuli.online. So this is your domain. This domain you can utilize internally plus externally as well because you have purchased it. Okay, so
Yeah.
throughout the globe, you are the owner of this domain. Next. That's gonna ask you for password. Okay, so here you
Okay.
have to enter the password of same password, the the computer password you can type in,
Yeah.
the login password of this machine. Next, next. It is gonna be Gloria Kuli.
Okay.
So
On here.
yeah,
Or
automatically
screen
it will come.
populates. Okay.
You see, these things you don't have to do it in the production environment. Everything will be already set up. We are in implementation phase right now. So implementation phase you don't have to do in production. In whenever you join any organization, implementation phase is already done. You have to start working on the tool itself. So the tool is not yet ready. So we are preparing to install the tool, SCCM server. Okay, let's go next install. Install. You have some warning message because it does not have the static IP address of this machine. That's
Oh,
the reason.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we are done with today's session. We took little longer today. Can you give me control, please? Just to
Yes.
summarize and then finish this off. So point number 4, purchase domain from GoDaddy. And this is optional. Okay, Lakshmi and Syama, if you would like to continue with abc.com or lab.com, you can. It's not mandatory,
Okay, Kashi.
optional. Okay, so point number 5, promote domain server as domain controller. So that is done. Okay, now we will meet. You need to send this to everyone, Gloria, on
Yeah.
WhatsApp group.
Okay.
We'll meet again, guys. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Kashi.
Okay, Kashif.
Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye
Have a
now.
great day.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.